Alrighty, I've decided to get through some quests that I'm pretty sure mostly they all just unlock dungeons. So I am in central Thanalan. I flew just a little bit south from Camp Blue Frog in North Thanalan. And just a bit to the west of there in Cutter's Cry, Hell's Brood Holes, there is a place where we're supposed to place flowers, I believe. Dishonor Before, yeah, okay. So we'll use the flowers here. We got this a long time ago. It's a level 38 quest. So we placed the lily on the burial mound. This is Cutter's Cry, a labyrinth of sand-ridden caverns. And you hear that? That sound like the waffling snort when a fire catches? That's the Chimera. Not that I've seen it. Sure, go right on in, if you're that certain of your ability to make it out in one piece. Just don't expect me to go trotting in there after you, no matter how hard you wail and holler. Ah, you promised old Sybil the Stoic, did you? Yeah, he's what's called a man of principle, he is. A little too much principle, I'd say. What's wrong with wanting to live when you've a wife at home big with child? Aye, the tale goes that rather than facing the fate spun for him by Nimia, he hid beneath the mangled body of his leader and watched as his companions were torn apart, one by one, also that he might return home to see his son born. Should he have died a hero rather than lived a coward? Was being able to see his son worth having the boy grow knowing his father was a craven, a disgrace to his friends and family? Should I ever find myself faced with a similar decision, would I have the courage to walk the righteous path? Now you know the true reason I will never step into that cave. But you will talk shit about a dude who did and chose what he had to do to live. Alright, close by-ish is, we'll do Camp Drybone one here. You go to Eastern, right? Yeah. We're gonna fly over to Eastern. I must not have. Let's put it up to 50. Oh, I don't have it in my ears. I thought I had my ears. Anyway. We're jazz wolfing. Steppin' wolfing. Frank Wolfensteinen. And we are in Eastern Thanalan. And we are going just a bit east of the Church of Saint Adama Landama. There's a gravestone we need to do something with. It looks like it's been broken. So that was the end of Dishonor Before Death, by the way. The tombstone has been knocked over and the earth before it disturbed. You shake your head. Jesus. So this is where poor Liavine now lies, says Payo Rayo, a Lalafell in blue robes. What's the meaning of this? Not only is her grave defiled, her body's gone. Who could have done this? Oh no, could it have been Ida? The more I think about it, the more it makes, well, I was going to say sense, but gods. I will try to explain. To the rest of us, our little party of four was but a means to riches and glory, such things as adventurers seek, but to Ida it was her life. She blamed herself for Avir's death, and to our shame we agreed with her, though we knew full well we were all to blame, and then we left her where she stood with her fiancé's head for company. If you remember, I'm fairly certain this is the group that you witness basically blaming the healer for letting the tank die in one of the cutscenes, like early in the game. I think pre-level 15 or around level 10, like when you're starting to get into dungeons finally. And then you learn a little bit later, like in the beginning of this quest, that it was her fiancé, no less. How could we have been so heartless? Small wonder if the poor girl has been driven from her wits. What's done is done, but what's done is done. All I can do is admit to our mistakes and make amends as best we can. Avir is gone, and so is Leavine, but Ida refuses to accept it. She won't let go of the past. I know not what she means to do in Tam-Tara, but it can lead to no good end. I will attend this wedding and try to restore her to her senses. I would be much reassured if you could accompany me, Mercy, as Avir once did. So too does Ida look up to you. She may not listen to me, but she may yet heed the words of someone she admires. And failing that, no, it doesn't bear thinking about. If we hurry, it need not come to that. Please meet me at the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. Together, we'll put an end to whatever madness Ida is planning. He runs off. You inspect the grave and kneel before it one more time. Paying respects, I would assume. So that is back in the Shroud. So while I'm out here, we're gonna fly south. We're gonna go to southern Thanalan, to an area. Well, we are going to go to Little Amal'jaa. And then the rest of it seems to be happening in the Shroud. Yeah. The forest area around Gridania. Black Shroud. I'm trying to remember that. Couldn't think of the name. So Little Amal'jaa, as a reminder, is like just this small gathering of people that's built into like this cave system in the middle of just these plains. There's just this upcropping, I'm gonna call it, like basically towers of rock, natural rock that just formed like this hill or mountain, but not ridiculously tall, just tall enough to be several stories. And they've built tunnels into it and made it into a camp of sorts, gates at the entrances. Giselbert, we haven't talked to you in a while. Flame commander inside here. Commander Swift said he'd assigned someone to assist with our growing beastman problem. Glad to see the urgency of our situation is being taken seriously. Now, as I'm sure the commander explained, the Amal'jaa activity in the region has grown almost frenzied. Seems like the lizardmen are determined to carry off every peddler and traveler that tries to pass through southern Thanalan. And I'm not speaking of furtive, nighttime raids here. The bastards are striking in full daylight, even against escorted merchant caravans. We've heard reports of raids as far south as the Sagoli Desert, so it's not a simple matter of increasing patrols on the roads into Little Amal'jaa. We must mount a decisive response, and soon, the next time the Amal'jaa appear, I want you ready to send them howling back into the desert. Not long before you arrived, in fact, our scouts reported a merchant resting in plain view on one of the trade routes. Make haste to the location I've marked on your map, and see that the fool isn't taken by a raiding party. Haste I will make then. How do I get out of here? I think I can finally... Oh, well, I want to say I can finally attest that the Jazz Wolf song doesn't start over every single time. I think it might start somewhat randomly, which is fine. Fine with me. Little destination marker. There's a merchant or somebody in a white tunic with a white hat on tending to a chocobo. We're standing guard over him. He seems to be like nodding off, sitting on this like stone pillar that's fallen over. And here come some Amal'jaa. Got some with spears, some with like kind of brass knuckles with spikes on them. And then they give the signal to attack. And then a bunch of arrows come flying in, and they take the Amal'jaa down. Overconfident fools, you think your raids here go unnoticed? Says an ash-smeared Amal'jaa, wearing a blue necklace instead of the red that the others have been wearing. What treachery is this? You are of the Brotherhood of Ash. We are, though we number but few. We shall be your death this day. He gives the signal for the Amal'jaa in blue to attack. One of the Amal'jaa in red chooses not to jump into the fray. The leader. Traitorous heathens, your victory will come at a price. And he's about to make a sneak attack when this Mikote, riding a horned spiked lizard, rides into battle and cuts him down with her dagger. And she's got a quiver and a bow on her back. Attacking when the enemy's back is turned, your ancestors return in their graves. She's badass. She's not wearing a whole lot of armor, but she's badass. And the Ashmeter Amal'jaa, a soldier's life is one of peril, and the first rule of war is to understand the mind of your enemy as well as your own. He turns to you. Your presence is noted here, adventurer, but this is our battle. You need not become involved. You need not become involved. The blues are successful and they're cheering, and the reds are starting to back away. I am Amal'jaa, and I lead the Brotherhood of Ash. We are what remain now that the all-consuming flames have reduced the rest of my people to unthinking zealots. You interest me, child of Eorzea. Be it fortune or fate, I would not ignore the forces that sought to bring us together. I extend to you an invitation to join us at the Ring of Ash. I need to make some notes here. The Mikote rides past you on her horned lizard. We're talking bigger than a Komodo dragon kind of size horned lizard. I know for a fact. So Corpse Groom, we're working on it. So let's put that in the note here. Corpse Groom in progress. We finished, God, I hope it's still, Dishonor Before Death. Dishonor Before Death. Done. We are furthering the Peace for Thanalan quest. Just a little bit south is an encampment of the Amal'jaa wearing blue. And Amal'jaa is sitting inside a cave. Some fires are lit. He's on a platform that's been made in here. Welcome to the Ring of Ash, adventurer. This place serves as home for our humble gathering of soldiers. My brothers and I ever seek to hone our martial prowess and honor the blood of our ancestors. We keep to the old ways of the desert nomad and of the warrior. To those who are worthy, we show the proper respect regardless of origin. Sniffs you. Your aura, it carries the reek of brimstone. Could you be one of the champions said to have laid low the Lord of the Inferno? You nod. Then I would have you understand the curse that has befallen our fanatic brethren. They have forgotten the code that governs our people, the glory that comes with a warrior's death. They spirit away the weak and the feeble, and offer them up in exchange for the barbed blessings of a hoary god. Day after day I witness the shameful acts of my kin. The honor of the Amal'jaa is a faded, paltry thing, no longer driven by the righteous fortunes of battle. It is these kidnappings that most stoke the flames of my fury. Why, the victims often bear no arms at all. What triumph could be found in such cowardly attacks? We are hunters, my brothers and I, and the fallen Amal'jaa who huddle in Zanrak our prey. If you share my outrage, then I bid you join us in our kin war. No, I will not accept this pretender, says the Mikote walking in. You claim to be one of the heroes that felled Ifrit. I've cut down 12 men who boasted that feat. More likely you slew a guttering fire sprite and convinced yourself it was the king of the 7th hell. I did not ask for your counsel, Loon-Ga. I, and I alone, make this decision for the Brotherhood. Then you better not stray into the path of my arrows, adventurer. We have too many enemies for me to waste ammunition on puffed-up heroes, quote-unquote, like you. She walks off. Forgive this interruption. I shall vouch for the authenticity of your claim. Only one who has faced and defeated Ifrit could have the scent that you do. Past glories, however, will not impress my soldiers. Prove yourself through your actions, and you might find your reception here improved. Our foes are the Amal'jaa of Zanrak. We shall break the fangs that feast on the helpless. Our target is clear, and our resolve unshakable. Peace for Thanalan is complete. Wait until the music dies down. Piece for Thanalan. Done. This opens up the quest line to start basically gaining favor with this tribe of the Amal'jaa. And I don't know what you get from these things. I haven't done too much on my other characters. Like there's also quests for the Sahagin and the goblins, I believe. I think that's the 3. Oh no, there's more. Like there's the Ixali, I believe you can do. There's obviously the ones for the sprites. What are they called? The walking, the flying ones. The whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, let's recheck. I gotta go to Gridania for that. Gridania for that. Gridania for that. Well, hold on. Where these are in like south. Yeah, I'll have to go to Gridania. Okay. That's also in Gridania. That's up in Mordana. Okay. Cool. Let's take a free portal to New Gridania. We go to Adder's Nest. It's a lot of repetitive quests as far as I've done for. I've done a couple for the goblins and I think 1 or 2 for the Sahagin. That's all it is. Just not a whole lot of storyline. I mean, maybe if you build enough favor, the story kind of grows. So, imagining that is the case, then I probably will try to do some of it, record some of it, because you know it's story. That's what this channel's about. That's what these videos are about, just story. And then experiencing dungeons with me. In for Garuda Awakening. Warsai Helui, the Serpent Commander. Ah, Sergeant Valkyr, we are grateful for your aid. As you will already know, the accursed Ixal have summoned Garuda once more. Since her return, she has wasted no time unleashing her fury upon the region. Extensive damage has been reported in both the Twelveswood and Corthus. She must be stopped, and soon, lest more lives be lost. In the name of the Elder Seedseer, I humbly request you put an end to her reign of terror. As in the past, Garuda keeps her court within the Howling Eye, which is perpetually protected by a raging tempest. Fortunately, we have learned of an alternate way into her domain. The Ixal have constructed an aetheryte within Thanalan, their stronghold in central highlands of Corthus. This aetheryte will take you to Garuda's tempestuous realm. We owe this discovery to the Ishgardians, who the Elder Seedseer says desired to repay the kindness you showed them. For the sake of our people, as well as theirs, may your mission be met with success. Okay, so that is in for Garuda Awakening. In for Garuda Awakening. In progress. Okay, next quest. Sergeant Valkyr, glad I am to see you. I assume you have been apprised of the situation regarding the Mughal monarch. After your previous deposal of the king, Kuplokop approached the Mogul's Guard and attempted to convince them of the error of their ways. Unfortunately, it appears his efforts at persuasion had rather the opposite effect. The royal sentries reportedly flew into a frenzy and focused their righteous indignation into a new summoning ritual. Mayhap it was the unwavering intensity of the Mogul's Guard prayers, but the king has returned to the forest enveloped in an almost blinding aura of majesty. Kuplokop tells us that this dauntingly maniacal avatar has now taken to calling himself Great King Mogul Mog XII. Suffice it to say that the Elder Seedseer is willing to condone the necessary act of regicide. For the safety of all who dwell within the Twelveswood, it has been decided that the king must fall. A certain member of the Elder Seedseer's personal guard has already escorted Kuplokop to the ward that shields the monarch's domain. Those among us with the ability to see Mughals are often in high demand, but, considering the urgency of your mission, our leader felt it best to expedite the matters. Pray make your preparations and set out as soon as you are able. Kuplokop awaits you in the bramble patch in the East Shroud. Okay. The king lives. The king lives in progress. What's this one? A pup no longer. Okay. I think that's a pup no longer, I believe, is PvP related, and I don't care about that at all, pretty much. That's gonna be the end of this video just for now. I'm gonna make a shorter video in a second I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. You know what? I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I just gotta pee. I'll be right back. Stepped into the sun. I ordered new headphones, new earbuds, because the left one I'm getting nothing, and the right one I'm not getting much anymore, so they actually come tomorrow. I ordered them today and they come tomorrow. Okay, that is down south of where we are. That is east. That is back in Korthus areas. That's not something I can do yet. I got that riddle quest that I haven't really got. Oh, that's also in... Okay, so let's put that as a check mark. That's up in Korthus, so not that one yet. Infer, I do want... That's up in Korthus. Mark that one. Okay, I got 3 to do. Okay, cool. Let's, hold on, that's over there. That's down there. Let's just take a teleport. This video is getting long. So we teleported to Hawthorne Hut in East Shroud. We can just jazz wolf over the hills through the giant like branches of spikes. Spike branches. Yeah. I think there's no like actual physics of you like flying through a spike branch and getting cut. Kuplo Cop, we meet back at the same place where he unlocked the dungeon the first time. Oh, I knew you'd come. At least I was hoping, Kupo. Not long ago, I had a stern word with the Mongols Guard about the dangers of turning pleasant fairy tales into disturbing reality, but they insisted that the intimidating force that is good King Mogulmog XII, may a scepter of judgment ever command our respect, is exactly the sort of savior we need. The Mongols Guard are afraid, Kupo, afraid of how the force has changed, afraid of the never-ending conflict, afraid that we Mughals have no place in this new world. I am scared of all those things, too, but the thought of unleashing our royal menace upon the Twelveswood scares me even more, Kupo. Please, you must deal with them firmly before this goes too far. A measured thrashing, of course, nothing too brutal. You can enter Thornmarch here, through the tear I've made in the ward. Take care, good fortune. In the meantime, I'll go let the others know that great King Mogulmog XII, may his reign end with minimal bloodshed, will be vacating his throne, Kupo. There's a wood whaler, spear, whitish armor, elven, or Elzin, I guess they're called. Yeah. And the king lives has been completed. I'll let the music play out. Sorry. Thornmarch Extreme is now accessible. I believe that's the first extreme that I've had accessible. Mark that as done now. All right, we fly south. I will be doing videos for those eventually. I'm definitely going to watch the videos, but the Thornmarch Hard that we did earlier for the storyline changed. As I said in that video, it's not the same fight that I remember. You used to have to actually fight the Mughals a second time after they were resummoned by the king. In this new version, they just do an effect in a certain area. Like, the hardest thing was like those giant circles that I didn't know were going to be coming and how to dodge them. That was a lot. The Odin fight was a lot easier than I expected it to be. The astrologist. Yeah, I think they call it astrology. I have an astrologist, and I just never remember what their astrologist or I think it's astrologist. That was with me while I was healing on White Mage. They were healing also. That's what an astrologist does. And they were doing a great job, I think. That I didn't have to heal a lot. Even the people that like kept standing and stuff, they didn't need to. Just not good at dodging. Pesi is next to the Earth's Fount entrance. He's one of those looks like a child with horns. Your bravery before the dark divinity was commendable, adventure. I'm relieved you escaped the battle with your life. And it was not for nothing, I might add. Brother Isumiyan and I have observed something remarkable, though I should like to discuss it with him present. Yeah, I see, now he comes. Here's Isumiyan, a couple archers at his back. Mercy, I am honored to have seen you fight. Why, I can scarcely wait to tell Sylphie how a warrior of light overcame the terror of the Shroud. No doubt the girl will smile to hear of your valor. But no doubt you are keen to learn more of the dark divinity. I don't know if he mentions Sylphie if you haven't gone through the White Mage questline and met Sylphie. It's interesting. I've never done the Odin fight for one, so I've never seen this cutscene before. So I'm curious about that, because I've never done it before having a White Mage and going through the Sylphie stuff. But anyway. But no doubt you are keen to learn more of the dark divinity. Very well, I shall share with you what I have gleaned in observing your battle. To begin, felling a primal allows the aether of their physical manifestation to return to the land. This much you know, yes? Yeah, they kind of like disintegrate, yeah. Odin seems to be subject to the self-same laws. This is the Pesi. Yet his sword, the Zantestuken, remains even after his body vanishes. Thus we thought to examine the blade, and in so doing, found that its etheric density is unimaginably high. Zantetsuken. Yeah, Zantetsuken. Isumiyan walks toward the crystals. Just massive crystals growing out of the ground straight up. Now, we had always assumed that the being who brandished the weapon was Odin, but what if we erred? What if the sword Zantetsuken is, in and of itself, the dark divinity? An unforeseen conclusion, yes, but one that clarifies much of the primal. Indeed, that would explain why Odin has never truly fallen. No one has thought to destroy the blade, and if the Zantetsuken is the primal, could it not conjure itself a new wielder? Yes, it's just as if Fritz tempered or Leviathan's drowned. Odin must needs have his sundered, in quotes, to offer crystals in his name, unless he drinks of the Shroud's aether. Such a weak source of power could be why it takes time for the dark divinity to manifest again. You see, adventurer, our theory accounts quite nicely for two of the mysteries that for so long surrounded the primal. And yet, as Pesi, I hate that, hints, I'm going to call him Pesi, or Oap. And yet, as Oap hints, a third mystery remains. If there are no sundered, how does Odin sustain himself? I cannot imagine the wishes of those who first summoned him were so strong as to echo throughout the centuries. Brother, I do not think our theory is flawed. No, this discovery makes clear the holes in what we had for so long believed of the primals. We must revisit the beings with a keener eye. He turns to you. I will inform Master Urianger of what we have gleaned here. Adventure, I urge you to do the same should something else of Odin occur to you. But today's a victory, all the same. We have the Zantetsuken and the mysteries that remain pale in import to the act of locking the primal away. With any luck, we can seal the sword and end the dark divinity's ride. Brothers, something terrible has happened, says Lewin, running up. He's the leader of the archers. The Zantetsuken is gone. One of my own men has stolen away with the blade and left nary a trace to track his flight. I never dreamt he would do such a thing, and I stayed my hand too long to stop him. Everybody is shocked. What? Are your men so disloyal as to rob you? Tell me, Lewin, why would someone do such a thing? Forgive me, brother, but I cannot say. I am as astonished as you. The thief was a sworn man of God's quiver, true as any Gridanian arrow. Moreover, what could he stand to gain by stealing so fell a blade? Mayhap the soul of the thief was stolen along with the blade. It is within the power of all primals to bend mortals to their wills. If the Zantetsuken and Odin are one and the same, then the sword may control the now sundered man. Is that not right, brother? That is indeed possible. Gods, could I have been so blind as that? Bolord Lewin, it is I who needs apologize. Had I been more wary, I would have foreseen this. Instead, I have cost us dearly, and placed you and your men in great danger. Lewin shakes his head, like think nothing of it. Let us not cry over lost swords. Bolord Lewin, send forth the gods' quiver and wood whalers to scour the shroud. Brother Oap and I will devote ourselves to devising a way to fell Odin after the Zantetsuken is ours again. Yes, brother, indeed, it would be a poor thing to have the blade in our grasp, and no way to destroy it nor dull its bite. Adventure, I will call upon you again when we have something to show for our efforts. Until then, go in peace. Something grabs your attention at the crystal, but it's just glowing, just normal crystal stuff. Fear and Odin in the Shroud is complete. Odin in the Shroud. Done. Like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, if you didn't catch that. I should try to mention what I think they're trying to do. Oh, it's up there. Okay, well, I'll still go that. Do I want to go to Central? I do want to go to Central. Yeah. Flying over the forested areas and hills of the South Shroud into the Central Shroud. After this, I think I'm going to play some Blitzball or maybe make a video. I actually got inside of Sin finally. Yeah, I'm taking my time, like 110 hours into the game. Lots of Blitzball, lots of farming. Just taking my time. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And I think I might make a video tonight. No, I'll do it tomorrow probably. Tomorrow at lunch. Go inside Sin. I don't know what kind of cutscenes that's going to trigger. Hopefully it's not more than an hour. I don't mean to like make a push to actually win the game. I just want to be able to capture fiends in there so I can create Sleep Sprout at the monster arena, because apparently farming that monster for Gil is like a ridiculously lucrative venture. We're at the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. It's basically like this big old open circular kind of tomb room, and there's a door that's like an entrance into deeper parts of this tomb and the cave system behind it. Hugemont is standing next to the door. A Lalafell and Thaumaturge? Just so happens a fellow like that went into the Deepcroft not a minute ago. There was a young lady with him, dressed head to toe in white. The last was all smiles and giggles, like a maiden on her wedding day, but your friend looked stiff as a board. Can't say I blame him, though. Crips do strange things to the best of us. You mean a head inside as well, do you? Well, take care you don't wake the dead, eh? Tam-Tara Deepcroft Hard is now accessible. Corpse Groom objective fulfilled, so that is just, I can keep that as in progress. Unfortunately, this means I'm going to take it back off of my monitoring list, and that's going to be the end of this video. So, thank you for sticking by. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Okay, I should adjust this again. What happens if I do this again? Seems better. Okay, later.